11,000 homes, over 6,600 acres with commercial, medical, education. So many amazing things coming with this brand new development coming to the Tampa Bay area just north in Land O'Lakes called Angeline. Hey everyone, my name is Brett Schiller. Thanks so much for tuning in. My goal in this YouTube channel is to bring you great opportunities for buying and investing in the Tampa Bay market. Now, I'm super excited to share this one to you today because I'm really optimistic about where this is going and what the future of this community is going to be like. The scope of this community is absolutely massive. Now, if you're familiar with the Bexley community, it's kind of a sister to that. It's right next door. It's actually the same land. So I'm going to be telling you a little bit about what this community is going to have to offer, what is currently there, who's building there, and what things are coming in the pipeline for the future. So with that, let's get rolling. Now, I had the incredible opportunity to be invited on a VIP tour of the Angeline community with a few other agents to tour what was going on here and see firsthand what the future of this community is going to be like. And honestly, I'm pretty optimistic with what I was able to see. Now, this community is developed by Metro Places, which is extremely popular for their lagoon communities. If you've heard of communities like Epperson or South Shore Bay, and there are others that are currently being built, they put in these really big lagoons, and that's what kind of people remember Metro Places by. So this is going to be a similar development to that, in addition to a bunch of other things that are going to be coming in addition with this Angeline community. Metro Places did a great job of hosting an event for us agents. They had everything from golf carts and ATVs that we could actually get out on the land, which is currently being developed. There's still a lot of dirt roads, and allowed us to put eyes on a lot of areas that aren't developed yet, but they're going to be. And well, if you're gonna ride an ATV and there's a dirt road, you gotta have a little bit of fun too. Now, to give you a high-level overview of this community, it is going to consist of a lagoon, a Moffit cancer center, lots of residential, lots of commercial space, its own farm, and trail networks spread throughout the community that could be up to 100 miles long. The plan is for this community to eventually be its own city. So when I put my investor hat on, I really do think this is going to be an incredible opportunity for those who seize their moment and do get in early, because I think over time, which is historically what's happened, those who get in first to new opportunities are compensated and gain equity unfairly compared to those who get in later. And I think this is going to be one of those options. Now let's dive into the nitty-gritty of what's actually happening right now in the terms of build. Now, at this moment in February 2023, the only opportunity to get in at this moment is with your active adult community. Lennar is currently building and selling homes in this active adult community, and they currently have 8 models that they have built showing you exactly what you can get. Now, if you think in the terms of a builder, to make an investment of 8 models is a lot of money for them. So they're really putting their eggs in their basket, understanding and knowing that this is going to be a big opportunity and that they're willing to put that investment. So for me as an agent thinking about that, and as an investor, that's a good sign when you're seeing builders invest that much into a community. Now, coming up, we're also going to have townhomes as opportunities. Lennar and D.R. Horton are both going to be building townhomes that have started breaking ground and are going to be coming up soon, and maybe even available for sale later this year. So here's a quick shot. Right behind me is the future of 200 townhomes that are going to be coming into the Angeline development here. These are going to be built by D.R. Horton, starting probably in the high 200s. Now, on the horizon, we do have some traditional single family that's coming. Both Lennar and D.R. Horton are planned to build in this community. Now, one thing I did ask is if there are going to be other builders that will be building in the community in addition to Lennar and D.R. Horton, and at this moment, the answer was we don't know, which honestly I was a little disappointed to hear. I'd love to see a little bit more diversity in this community. So Metro Places, if you're watching this, I think diversity in builders would be a phenomenal thing to diversify the options and types and styles of homes that buyers can get into this community with, because I think it's going to be awesome. and people may want something different. Now, as of this moment in February 2023, what currently exists in this community? Well, we do have the active adult that's currently being built. We do have the townhomes that have broken ground that are coming. And also we have the Angeline Academy of Innovation, a brand new school coming to this community that's scheduled to be finished soon. I think even August of this year, it is planned to be ready and hosting about 1,000 students in its first year. Now, this school is going to host kids from grade 6 to grade 12 and are planned to be one of the best schools in Pasco County. And I'm very optimistic that they're on a good trajectory for that. Now, they're going to have focuses on things like bioengineering, cybersecurity, even artificial intelligence, which are extremely popular things that we need to know, that we need our kids to know. Now, one of the themes that I come across with all buyers that I work with is we never want to compromise on the education for our kids. We want to live in a great place, but we also want great education. And I think that Angeline is going to be one of those places where you're not going to have to compromise on the education of your children. And the last thing that currently exists, which is not completely done, is the area where the farm is going to be. Now, it's almost completed and it's looking awesome. Now, this is going to be a new idea, which I haven't really seen before, and I don't know quite exactly how it's going to be executed. So here behind me, we've got a really interesting concept. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a farm area, and this is where they're going to actually have a farmer on site who works out of this office right here, and they're going to be managing little farmland right behind me here. There will also be an opportunity for residents to have their own plants and types of things, different planters, whether it's herbs or vegetables, can be growing things right over here in the community. I imagine this will be farmers markets on weekends and different things like that. So really interesting concept, cool, beautiful building, fun to see what's happening. I don't know if it's totally locked in as far as how the farmland's going to work, but if fresh fruits and vegetables are an important thing for you, this is going to be a great place to be, where I think a lot of people are going to merge, where that is a priority in their lives and you can get it right within the community itself. Now, being a brand new development, the biggest portion of this video is what's happening in the future, and there is a lot happening in the future. Now, if you've seen Metro Places communities before, you've seen their big lagoons that they put in, which are really awesome and very eye-catching. And when you think about Florida living, honestly, it makes a lot of sense because it's a huge pool, play area, entertainment, everything that you could want all in your backyard. It's a great way that they have kind of brought the vacation mindset into your average everyday living. So there is a really big lagoon that is projected to be coming into the community. Now, one of the other biggest pieces that's going to be coming is a Moffit Cancer Center. Now, huge hospital going to be built, but specifically focused around cancer and cancer research. Here I am standing in the middle of Sun Lake Boulevard and Ridge Road. You can see the sign right here behind me. Now, this is going to be a very popular area in the future and going to look vastly different. So right here, this is where Moffit is owning their 770 acres that they're going to turn into a lot of health and wellness. Huge hospital that's going to go up here, and lots of different commercial and probably even some residential, but the goal is to focus it around health and wellness. So you're going to see a lot of probably gyms, fitness centers, all things focused around that's going to come up in this land over here. And just to give you an idea of the scope of that, 770 acres is bigger than the downtown of Tampa. And that's just the portion that Moffit owns. So absolutely massive. There's going to be a lot of commercial coming into this area. One of the things that I do love is that 3,600 acres of the total 6,600 acres are going to be preserved for green space. So I hope to see a little bit less of houses crammed so much and a little bit more green space where people can really enjoy living in a place where they can get out in nature and explore out of their world a little bit more. Now, if you are a person that likes to get outside, you can expect at least 65 miles of trails going throughout this community. Now, it is 6 miles from the top of where the most north part of where the community starts to the very most southern part. So it is absolutely massive. Then trails going all throughout this community. So if you're a runner, biker, want to get outside, sometimes that's difficult to do in Florida because there's a lot of 2-lane roads. This could be a great place to be where you can get outside, you can get your exercise without having to fight the crowds or the traffic. Now, one of the really cool aspects of this community is a future 130-acre regional park and lake. Now, this is going to be space for residents to enjoy. Other people can also come into the community and enjoy it. It will be a regional park, but I do love that the developer is thinking about how the residents in this community are going to enjoy themselves and how they're going to get outside. And finally, closing this section, one of the things that we do project to come is a pretty big sports complex, and they've kind of already got an idea of where that's going to be. Now, if your kids are in sports, you know that if you're having to travel to different locations, that can be very challenging, having to deal with traffic. So if you can get that sports complex in your community, you don't have to sacrifice in other areas of your life so that your kids can play sports. And finally, I want to end with a summary of my thoughts of Angeline. Now, overall, I would say I was really impressed with everything that was coming into this community. I do love the different concepts that Metro Places does. Their lagoons, I think, are extremely attractive, extremely sexy to buyers, especially coming in from other areas where it is a huge place that you can gather together and you can almost get a beach feel without having to drive to the beach. I'm extremely optimistic about the investment opportunity within this community. Things like hospitals and great education coming in, I think, are phenomenal. Now, one thing that I do understand about school districts is they can really lock home prices because parents want the best for their children and they're always going to want to be in great school districts. So if your schools are awesome, then home prices tend to keep their value really well because people want to be in those areas. So I think if Angeline hits that on the head, I'm very optimistic about the prices being great in this community, and those that who do buy in first are going to see some great equity growth over time. I'm always an advocate of getting outside, so I love the trails, I love the park. I love that developers do things that inspire us to get outside. I think it helps us live happier lives. Honestly, the biggest disappointment that I have right now with the community is the diversity in builders. With a community as large as this, I'd like to see quite a few more builders coming in with ranges from entry level to semi-custom to possibly even some custom homes that you could build inside this community. Now, obviously, it's very early in the development process. They could have other builders spec to come in and just not ready to share that information yet, but I do hope to see other options coming in because I do think it's going to be a phenomenal opportunity. Hey, once again, my name is Brett Schiller. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to put my contact on the screen here. My goal is to be a resource for you. The reason I create these videos is because I know it's difficult from out of state to really understand boots on the ground what's happening. So I hope this is a benefit. If it is, if that's what you're looking for, hit that thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you want to see more opportunities like this one. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.